Havenites, how you guys doing? It is Thursday night. It is this modern version of must-see TV or computer or whatever we want to call it. It is the Haven Comics Quiz Show. It is episode number 5, the one where we ask questions, people answer them, and they get prizes. How great is that? Wow, already got somebody on in the chat. Hello, Ruben. How you doing, man? Good to see you, sir. I don't know if we've got any TMNT questions in there tonight, but maybe we'll see. Sometimes happens. Anyway, I'm Josh Olive with Haven Comics, comic book shop here in Madison, Alabama. We like to hang out, talk comics, do quiz shows, hand out prizes, all sorts of things. So it is very good to be back on tonight. I would like to introduce you to Mr. Jeremy Bernard, our official realtor of Haven Comics, artist extraordinaire, all-around fun guy, and wearing a great shirt tonight.
Representing.
Hey, look, I'm wearing
remember,
a great shirt too.
Well, we just great minds, right?
I guess so. I mean, what a brilliant idea.
You know that quote actually is, great minds think alike, and simple ones rarely differ.
Huh.
So I think it's a much better quote.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty good add-on. Yeah, people cut it. If you ever want to see a real fun one too, the discretion is the better part of valor. That is rearranged from the actual quote, and that's only a part of it. It's interesting, but that is a Falstaff quote from Henry IV, Part 1, or I think Part 1. It's a good one.
You dove deep on me.
Greetings from North Carolina. That's quite a ways off. I guess that's what we get for having fall break. But awesome that you're tuning in from North Carolina. Appreciate that. And from all the way from Florida, we've got Mr. Aaron Michaels back in the house. How you doing, sir? So we've got North Carolina represented. We've got Florida represented. Where are you from, Ruben? I don't know where you're from. But I don't think we've got anybody local on yet. It is that fall break everybody's doing. So let's see. Somebody's texting me. Let's see. Okay. That would be nothing critical, but needed to check.
You're doing a live show.
Yeah, if it were critical, you would be hosting by yourself and I would run off.
Oh.
Go forth and conquer.
Hey, we got a local guy.
How you doing, Mike? Good to see you, sir. Thanks for jumping on and joining us. Well, we have got with us a Havenite who has been part of the community for a while now. He's going to be our guinea pig today. He's going to be answering our questions, and I would like to bring on and introduce Mr. Travis Goodman. How you doing, Travis?
Doing good. I'm hoping that the people in the audience are ready to win a lot of prizes this week.
Don't sell yourself short.
One of the benefits of the way that we do this, right, is everybody wins. Because if you can't answer it, they can. And so it probably breeds a bad thing because they're probably all rooting for you not to be able to answer it. So I don't know.
I'm going to make a lot of friends tonight.
The show makes people hate you.
It's like a rodeo or NASCAR where they're rooting for the bull.
I'd like to see a bull in NASCAR. That would be really interesting.
That'd be a fun
that's change. What they should do is during Daytona or Talladega, maybe they should have, while the cars are driving around, they should have a rodeo in the middle instead of all those people on RVs wearing swimsuits. I think that would be interesting. That's what they should do. That's the
sport of the future. You just take in two sports and just cram them together.
We could have a rodeo with football simultaneously. I think that would be interesting too.
What is that game where you play soccer with your car? Rocket League.
With your car?
Rocket League. What are those things the kids do with the controllers?
Oh, like
video game.
Cars.
Yeah, video game. That's what I meant.
Wow, that's very
no
different.
idea what you're talking about.
Nobody ever does.
Travis.
So,
all right,
Travis, who are you?
What are you about? Here. You agreed to come on here, so that means you've got to be a nerd of some stripe or another. What's your deal, man? Movies, comics, video games.
Uh,
You read Tolkien more than is healthy. What's your deal?
it's hard for me to say any one thing. I kind of dabbled in a lot of different things. I actually comics themselves. I've only been reading for about 3 years, so I have
What are you
no
currently
idea.
reading?
Oh, I've got stacks of books. So I usually stick to. I've done a lot of Image comics. So Spawn is probably one of my favorite comics. It's my profile pic is actually me as Spawn. That Doug Lang, a local artist, drew.
Doug Lang is awesome. I love that dude.
Yeah. And then I've got a few different Star Wars comics. In terms of like the classic hero comics, probably Thor is the only one I'm actually currently and a lot of the X-Men series. Ever since House of X, Powers of 10 came out, I kind of jumped on some of those X titles. But anything pre that, when they said Hickman was doing X-Men, I was all in. I was like, I loved what he did with East of West. I loved what he did with the Black Monday murders until that kind of got canceled. But I'm excited to see where it goes. Sorry, what?
Are you reading Decorum? That's another Hickman book.
I have not heard of that one.
Yeah, that's
I want to read Black Monday Murders too. Those are my favorites.
I'm hopeful that they might come back, but with him doing X-Men now, I don't know if he'll ever finish it.
Yeah, that's a good question. But no, Hickman. He did. He's still doing Decorum, which is a book coming from Image. I think there are 3 or 4 issues out now at this point. One of them just came out this week or last.
I didn't know he was doing anything while he was doing, because he's like the ex-editor or something like that for Marvel.
Yes, he is. But yeah, you might want to check out Decorum. I think you might like it. If you're a Hickman fan, you probably will at least want to give it a read. Just so you know, everybody does not hate you. Mike says, we're counting on you, man. So
I'll do my best.
Hey, Jeremy, is Jeremy old enough to be drinking a highball on this show? I have a full beard. It doesn't matter how old I am. I'm balding and have a full beard, so I get to drink. That's the law.
You had a full beard when you were like 7, dude.
I had a mustache when I was 11, but not a full beard.
I was like 25 before I could grow any hair on my face at all. It was sad. Hey, yeah, Zach, how you doing, man? I'll tell you what my issue is with the X-Men titles, and I don't think it's a problem with the books themselves. House of X, Powers of 10. I know that he wants to call it that, but nobody buys the 10 men. People sign up to buy the X-Men. So I have it hurts me to call it Powers of 10. Anyway.
Yeah, it makes me mad that you said that.
That was incredible. Those 2 series were really one series, whatever. It was fantastic, and I loved it. And Marvel immediately dropped the ball by, instead of rolling out a slow launch and building it out, they just said, let's just saturate the market with a crap ton of books. And you can't keep up with it. It's too much. It is way too much. So it's so diluted, and you can't stretch your interest across all those titles unless that's all you're reading.
It's getting difficult to keep up with everything.
Are you telling me I'm supposed to read that X as 10?
No, that one is X. House of X, Powers of 10. If you read the Powers of 10, you'll understand. They kind of do like this Powers of 10 in terms of years. Yeah. So there's like year 0, year 1, year 10, year 100, year 1,000.
I was about to say, if you're going to go back into my childhood and suddenly it's the 10 men, I'm done.
Well, and now what is it? There's a debate online whether it's supposed to be the current storyline, which is, again, talk about overkill, a 22-chapter story. Are you freaking kidding me? And it's called what? What do you call this?
Swords. I call it Swords of X, but I've heard it's Swords of 10 or something to that effect.
It's X of Swords,
or
right?
X of Swords.
People are calling it Cross of Swords.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Cross of Swords, this makes no sense. Which, again, I go back to Aaron's point. Do people buy books called The Crossmen? Maybe in the South. That didn't come out quite the way I intended that.
That came out really bad.
You're in the South. We're all in the South.
I was talking more about the Bible Belt, not the KKK, but now I'm just really going to keep putting my foot in it, aren't I? Swords of X, or whichever you feel like. Yeah, you have to feel like you're missing out on the story because they broke it across all those 48 books they have, and it's a 22 chapter story. It's insane.
That's what I'm always saying about tightening the roster, tightening the books that you're putting out. If there was one House of or Powers of or whatever, just X, I'd read that. But because it's so much, it's just I can't focus on all of it.
Well, even if they had 2, maybe 3, and they didn't cross them over all the time, you didn't have to read all of them to understand one of them. I think that would be helpful. But
I feel like Hickman had a plan, and it just kind of all went out the window after Dawn of X.
I think so too. I think editorial just absolutely were like, they saw dollar signs with all those sales, like, throw more titles. If we got any other titles hanging out that we've ever used before, okay, yeah, we've got Marauders. Let's pull them back out. Let's Fallen Angels. We can pull it back. It's been a long time since anybody cared about Excalibur. Let's bring that back. Wow. That is unfortunate, Justin. But you have fun watching Empire Strikes Back in a movie theater. And I believe you said that's the original theatrical cut, right? That's awesome. And I'm kind of jealous. But out of a sense of duty, I'm here with you guys. All right, let's see. I think it's 10 for swords, based on the one where they talk about the drawing of the cards and 10 swords, but I do just say
that's what I heard, is that there are 10 swords in the series.
That's also very strange to me. We're mutants with all these incredible powers. Let's get pointy objects and stab people.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize they're not just normal swords, but
does Wolverine count his claws as just 6 swords? Is that 6 of the swords or just his claws?
I dig that, and that would be really cool. I am waiting for him to put on his eye patch and just get a katana and end it. This is it. I'm going back to 1982, people. This is over.
I rewatched the Wolverine the other day. Segue from the massive sword fights in that movie. It's not as bad as I remember.
It's not a bad movie at all. I actually really enjoyed that one.
No,
I really enjoyed that.
Gave it a lot of hate when it came out.
Silver Samurai was really good in that. A fight on a bullet train. What's not to love?
Yeah, that was cool. It was a good movie. And you know what? That's a good segue into.
I enjoyed it.
Question number 1.
All right. Let's do it.
Let's see how this goes.
Travis, are you a recall guy? Are you good at trivia?
I used to do trivia nights quite a bit a while back, but it wasn't specific to comic book questions. Actually, I remember the very first real comic book question that I missed. It was when I first started reading, and it was something about the Eisner Awards, and I had not realized that the Eisner Awards were for comic books.
Huh.
And I felt really bad.
How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Oh yeah, we should before we do that, we should talk about prizes. Thank you, Mike, for reminding us of our format.
Mike's gunning for Aaron's job as stage manager. So for question 1, we are going to play for this sticker pack. We've got this Haven comic sticker, but then we also have all these great stickers donated by Geek Out Huntsville. And because I feel like I should contribute a little more, I'm going to throw in a drawing that I did of Ghost Rider Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, wow.
So somebody commissioned me to do this, and this was a prelim that I did for it. So I'm going to throw that in here. So, Travis, the way this game works, you have first crack at this question. Audience, the way this game works, Travis is going to lose this question, so you have to be the first one to answer. If you answer the question right and you're the first one, then you win whatever the prize is. So, for question 1, it's going to be this prize pack. Moving forward in the night, we've got a lot of variant comics here. We've got my comic book,
I have a quick
Yes,
question
sir.
for you, Jeremy. I see the sign behind your house or behind your head that says "free pizza
Yeah.
with purchase of house." Now, I have bought a couple of houses, and that was not true. So I think you owe me.
You need to work with a better realtor, one who hooks you up with pizza.
Clearly. Why does everyone ask this? Why do you ask this every week? No. No. You will pry it from my cold, dead hands.
We're also playing for tonight Elven Enlightenment Canopy Blend. This is Nerd Coffee.
Oh, wow.
They made her coffee out of nerds?
It's Geek Grind, so maybe it's Soylent Green. We don't know. You got to try it and tell us. And then we have also a Sprue Kits. Is that how you say it? Ninja Turtle, Leonardo. If you are the building kind, and we also have Sheer Panic is going to be our grand prize tonight. It is a whole thing. Basically, it's a board game with sheep. So that's what we're playing for tonight.
I have to say.
That's the only one I've ever heard of. Audience, also, we have the special Canadian bonus question where you can win a $25 gift card to Haven Comics. So that is going to be for the audience only. Travis, we're sorry. You got to count yourself out on that one. But if you're the first one to answer the Canadian bonus question, you win a $25 gift card to Haven Comics. So there's a lot of great reasons to stick around tonight.
And now, Travis, before we do that question, you have to sing the Canadian national anthem. Just prepare mentally for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Look up the lyrics.
I'll do that while I'm Googling the answers to all the other questions. How about that?
You're in a dark room, so I'm going to see your screen light up if you cheat.
Yeah, I'm not cheating.
He's a detective. Who knew?
Yeah.
All right, you got question number one, Jeremy?
Yes, sir. I got it. What Titan of Hollywood history who won the 1942 Oscar for Best Screenplay voiced Unicron in 1986's Transformers the movie?
And it's a name I guarantee you will know.
Also, Mike, I'm old enough to have been born before that. Wait, no, I wasn't. I'm younger than that movie. I'm going to shut up. Math. I keep forgetting how it works. What Titan of Hollywood history?
By whether or not you were around when Top Gun came out in 1986. That's how you know.
I wasn't. Travis, were you?
What, alive in 86?
Yeah.
No, I was born in 88.
Okay, you're on this side of the fence.
Yes.
All right, so
which makes the question difficult.
What Titan of Hollywood history who won the 1942 Oscar for Best Screenplay voiced Unicron in 1986's Transformers the movie?
It was 1942.
Who played Unicron?
Can I ask if this guy's still alive?
Now?
You can ask.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
He's
no,
not.
But it's a name that when you hear it, you'll be like, oh, I've heard that name before. You might not know why or place a voice or a face with it, but you'll know that name.
So pick any old name if you don't have an answer.
I don't know, Peter Cushing.
That's a
not a bad guess. All right, Travis,
I'm guessing that was wrong.
But
you are correct.
audience,
you were incorrect.
Travis, he cued you guys in, so you've been tapped. Audience, who played Unicron? Not Peter Cushing.
Who was the voice of Unicron? You guys had better get going because we don't have an official time limit, but when we get bored, we're going to move on.
This is one I would actually have got right. We don't have any G.I. Joe fans out there? 10.
What does G.I. Joe have to do with it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Transformers. Do you guys know I was super spacey? I'm going to call time on this one. I'm sorry, guys. Orson Welles. Orson Welles played Unicron. So what an intense... I mean,
that makes me feel a lot better that nobody else got it, though.
Well, yeah. All right, so nobody won this. That's sad. Maybe we'll see if we can work it in later. All right, Josh, it's your turn, and I think you are going to like this question. So let's play next.
Well, I typically.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Josh?
Josh, you still there?
As far as I know, I'm still here.
Okay. I think you're coming back.
You were saying something, and then it just cut out.
So I think this time.
As far as I know, I'm still here.
You're back now. You're here now. This is kind of apt based on the conversation we're having. We're going to play for House of X Issue 3 Variant Edition by Scotty Young.
That's a fun one. I love all those Scotty Young ones. And hey, he's a House of X fan, so there you go. So this one should be easy. I'm hoping.
Yeah, you gotta make me feel bad if I miss it.
Make me happy. So let me. You see this guy right here?
Yeah.
What ancient deity does the Marvel character Moon Knight get his powers from? What is the name of the ancient deity from whom he receives his powers?
I'm gonna guess that has something to do with the moon.
Have you been reading the current Avengers story by any chance?
No. Unfortunately not.
Really good.
Ancient deity. I'm trying to think of who the moon deity was from any ancient Greek or Roman history classes.
I'll give you a hint.
I don't know that I never heard of this guy before Moon Knight.
It's none of those. You have to go to Egypt.
Egypt. Oh.
But this is a real deity? Josh, this is a real... Okay.
No, it's not even a real deity.
Not that I'm aware of. It's not been this has never been mentioned in any of the Egyptian mythology things that I've read.
Well, that's not any fun. I guess I know Horus is like the sun god, so I'm gonna say Isis. Not the terrorist group, the mother from
we're really hitting on all cylinders tonight with our Crossmen and our Isis.
I don't know how is that how you pronounce her name? Osiris's wife? Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but okay.
Right. Things end up so well for him.
I'm guessing that was wrong because that's an actual deity. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that was incorrect. But we had a correct answer, and it looked like Ryan Williams, Mr. Comics and Death Metal, was the first one up.
Yeah. No.
Also, I learned something new tonight. Khonshu is the ancient Egyptian god of the moon. His name means traveler, and this may relate to the perceived nightly travel of the moon across the sky. He's a real Egyptian god.
Is he also the god of vengeance? Because I thought the moon and vengeance seemed like an odd mix, but
yeah, maybe that was a Mark Spector add-in.
But yeah, there you go, Moon Knight. That's some good stuff. As a bonus question. Maybe you'll get this, and maybe we can give away our prize pack for the first prize. This is the bonus question here. What was the first comic book that Moon Knight appeared in? What was his first appearance in comics?
I've been reading comics for 3 years, Josh. Come on. I haven't gone back that far. I'm gonna guess. I don't know. Are you going to give us a hint? I can't read that.
He just wants to brag. That is
Werewolf by Night.
Really boss comic.
Number 32.
Hey!
I didn't know I had to give the actual issue. I thought you were just looking for the name.
Bonus questions. We got loose rules. I think that counts.
I'll take it. Might be my only one I get. Thanks, Josh.
Travis, you've won some questions in our other episodes, right?
I have been very lucky with a couple questions.
Awesome. It's cool to have somebody come right out of the audience. So if anyone in the audience is interested in being featured as our guest, hit us up.
That's what I won. I also won your comic, but I haven't picked that up yet.
Oh. What a dig.
I haven't been to Haven this week. It's been a busy week, but
you won it last time, but just haven't got it yet.
Yeah, I haven't gone to pick it up. Yeah.
He went there, he looked at it and said, I'll pick that up later. I don't think that's what he did, dude.
That's not what I did.
Well, that's going to make the next prize less interesting for you. That's my comic book. We're going to try and give that away every time. I might even sign it if I like you, whoever wins. But
don't give me a softball on the one question for a prize I already have.
Well, now we did acknowledge that Ryan won the prize pack for the number 2, right?
Did we?
I don't know. I'm asking because he did. He was the first one to pop in with Khonshu.
Yes, for number 2, yes. And then the bonus question, that was Travis.
Right.
Yeah, because my superior intelligence was able to read a comic.
Absolutely. Hey, man, don't knock it. It's a valuable skill.
That's how I learned.
See, I'd love to go back and like start reading. So you know how y'all were digging on like the issue 1s always coming out? I feel like they do that for people like me because I find it hard to jump in at like issue 537 of a series. I'm like, I want to start at the beginning, but I too really hate.
That's so funny because comics used to not be that way at all. I mean, the first comic book I ever bought off the stands was G.I. Joe number 35. The first comic book I ever read in my life was X-Men number 132, or 133, 134, whatever it is, 134. I had no idea what happened before that. No clue. Didn't matter. Because back in the day, they had rules for comics. Like, you had to have a beginning. The first time people talked to each other, they had to say the name of the person so you knew who it was. Little stuff like that, right? You had to know stuff like they would tell you, so you didn't have to like know it coming in. They've thrown all that out the window now, and they write everything for a 6-issue story arc, which makes life very difficult if you're trying to just pick up a random book and say, that looks like a cool cover. I want to read that book. What's going on here? They
were dense before. They were like little books.
Well, they had a lot of stories in them, too. If you go far enough back, they didn't just have one story in it. They had 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue was also a lot more packed in some of the older comics that I've seen.
Yeah.
Like these new ones, you might have like 5 words in a panel and then it goes to the next one.
That's where people got tripped up, I think, on the James Tynion, although I've heard his name is Tynan, is how he pronounced it, book Department of Truth. That's got a lot of text. It's pretty dense, and you got to read it because it matters to the story. Speaking of which, have either of you read Department of Truth number 1?
My friend Owen gave it to me this week, so it's on my list, but I haven't actually read it yet. So next week.
I think you're going to dig it a lot. The art style is disconcerting, but I think it's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable because it mirrors these distortions in the world.
I haven't read that one, but I've read his Something is Killing the Children, and I am a very big fan of that one. That one is good.
Now, are you reading Once and Future?
Yes. But that's not Tynion.
No, it's not Tynion, but it's good.
Oh. Yes. I like the ethereal legend stuff. So I'm really digging that one too.
Yeah, me too. I dig it. Oh, we've lost.
I've got so many comic books down here that don't even have words. I've been thinking about that since we talked about it. Like, whatever you're doing just has to work on its own, right? So that's the problem, is that these things are just, it's like if you were to start a show from episode or from commercial to commercial, and that's all you got every week. And that's what bothers me. You guys still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. So are we good for question number, what is it, 3?
Yes, sir. Question 3. Travis, you said you've only been reading for 3 years. You know Rob Liefeld?
Yeah. I've actually got a couple of his comics hanging on my wall.
Rob Liefeld usually gets credit for creating Deadpool, but who actually wrote New Mutants 98?
It's going to be cheating if I look up, I think.
You got it on your wall?
He just came to Huntsville a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and I can't think of his name.
If you got it on your wall, you're fine. That was the rule in grade school. You would have posters on the wall of what the answers actually were. If they were up there.
I don't even think I don't think it has the author on the cover. Dang.
If it's got a wackadoo looking name, that's it.
I don't see a wackadoo looking name.
Is there any name on it? Just pick any old name on that book.
Well, it just has Deadpool, Gideon, and Domino. It's just the names of the characters. It doesn't have they don't do the names like on the newer ones.
I don't mean to call him out, but this is so rare to get a wrong answer from Aaron.
I know, and he acknowledges it with the next comment. But yeah, he's never wrong. That's amazing.
No, and I'm glad to see it because it means he's human. So the right answer is Fabian Nicieza. Is that how you say that?
That's not spelled correctly. It's Nicieza.
Nicieza.
Nicieza. Nicieza. And he is hysterical.
That's not on there.
Deadpool is more or less Fabian Nicieza. The same smart aleck, sense of humor, all that stuff. That's Fabian Nicieza. He essentially wrote himself.
So how did Liefeld get credit for that whenever he created
Because he was the artist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Fabian was the writer, but Liefeld was the artist.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, they were the co-creators. Yeah. But people forget Fabian Nicieza a lot, and Rob Liefeld gets the credit because people remember what they saw, but they don't remember the words that they read a lot of times.
Yeah.
I will say, this is, right before March 2018, when Haven moved from our old location to the location we're at now. And Fabian Nicieza was at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. He has these posters for sale because he's a writer, not an artist, right? So he's got these posters for sale that has Deadpool doing this like Uncle Sam wants you kind of thing, but it's got a big empty word balloon. So he'll talk to you for a few minutes and then he'll write something in the word balloon that's completely and totally inappropriate half the time, and then that's what you get when you buy something at his booth, aside from having him sign a book or whatever. But next time you're at Haven and you go over to the new wall and you look up and to your left, where the graphic comic boxes are, and you'll see what he wrote on the one for Haven.
I'll have to check it out next time I go.
Hilarious.
I learned a trick from you, Josh, when you're at a convention, if you ask a writer to draw something, it confuses them and they don't know what to do. So you get a little more time and attention because all of a sudden they're a deer in headlights. So I told my little brother to do that, and he got a Fabian drawing of Deadpool where he drew a word bubble trashing my little brother, and it was hilarious. So if you ever see him, try and hit him with the art request.
Yeah, when you go to shows and you ask the writers to draw something, I've gotten some of my favorite convention sketches from writers because they're just hysterical. They're so funny. They really are.
Hey, before we move on to number 4, you know what we didn't do?
What's that?
Play this.
You're right.
I love that. I need to write down a flow of what I'm supposed to do in any given
pick up the water
episode.
Sound at the end of it? Isn't that the one that had the water at the end?
That's this one.
No.
That one makes Josh need to pee.
It really does.
Josh, you want to read number 4?
All right. This steps away from comics and goes a little bit more. It's still totally nerdy, but
is it an old cartoon?
Right. No.
Yes, technically.
Okay.
Well, okay, there was a
cartoon,
but the cartoon came after the fact.
Okay.
So here's the question. What role-playing game did Gary Gygax write the rules for when Dave Arneson approached him about combining both of their individual games into a single game?
Was it Dungeons and Dragons?
Ding,
awesome.
ding, ding, ding. We have winner.
Yes. What was the prize? I don't know if they did a prize for that one.
I'm so bad at my job. That was this Ninja Turtle model, Leonardo, everybody's favorite.
It's not just me.
I didn't know that Dungeons and Dragons was just a combination of two different RPGs.
I didn't know that either.
It wasn't really even an RPG so much. It was a tactical war game. Like people played World War II games and Civil War games where they just had soldiers on a field, and they took the idea of that tactical war game and merged it with the role-playing aspect, and that's how you got D&D. It's really good stuff. So is it time for our Canadian question?
Yes, sir. I think it is. So our flag waver is out.
Andrew wants to know what he won for his Fabian Nicieza answer.
What did you win?
Didn't you get the home movie?
No, he won your comic book, right?
You got my comic, and I think Andrew has my comic, so you're going to have to find somebody to
Christmas present.
Love that. Yeah. Regift. I think
or he can just use it as a demo for his comic cloaks.
Yeah. And just leave it in there forever. And just write my phone number in it so people can call me and tell me how much they like it.
That would work. Okay, well now Travis has got to sing the Canadian national anthem. We prepared.
Oh yeah, you've been prepping for it, right?
Oh Canada, something land. I don't know all the rest of it. I only know the "Oh Canada" part. The one part everybody knows is the only part I know.
Travis, what's your
you brave
Canadian thing?
You were brave enough to try.
I've been watching the hockey. Well, I was watching the hockey playoffs before they went off. I know they always do the Canadian song, Canadian national anthem, but I don't remember any of it.
One of the reasons I really like to celebrate this is because there's so much cool Canadian stuff that is just seamlessly part of our culture that we don't even think about. So I designed
like A.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's where that comes from. Oh, man. I got a new video for this, too. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys.
You know, I was actually going to make a comment that you need to have some kind of intro for this question.
It's got a cool, Hockey Night in Canada vibe, doesn't it?
It does. That
was awesome. Do it again. Do it again. That is so cool.
I like that.
Good. Okay, so the rules on this one change a little bit. Audience, you get to win, and up for grabs is a $25 Haven gift card and the slick Canadian flag. So when you travel abroad, you can pretend you're Canadian.
You don't want to pretend you're American.
Well, okay. If you go back and watch an Eddie Izzard sketch from 1998, I believe, in his Dress to Kill thing, he's got a whole sketch about Americans telling people they're Canadian when they travel abroad.
His Dress to Kill was probably his best one. I love
that. Was by far my favorite. Yeah, fantastic. That's good stuff. Yeah, we're definitely moving up with the with our what do they call production values here.
Mm-hmm. Give us a couple of months and we're gonna have a full-blown TV show.
You know, you need like a ding or a buzzer for people answering questions.
That's true. That's a good one. I like that. Okay, Canadian challenge question number 5. This one is bona fide hard. This is a hard question.
You gotta read it with your Canadian accent, though.
I know too many Canadians to risk that.
I know your wife will kill you.
She doesn't have an accent. They the thing that it's her R's or not R's, A's. It's like car is car, pasta, that kind of thing. Also, like instead of grade, wait, hold on, I just tried to do it wrong. Instead of 12th grade, it's grade 12. It's little things like that. And she never says shot, she says needle. So I hear it more in her patois. That's the word for it. Okay. What dubious non-North American accent was Canada's favorite superhero, Wolverine, given in the 1989 X-Men animated movie, X-Men Pride of the X-Men? Wait, X-Men, yeah, that was it. X-Men Pride of the X-Men. Pride is spelled like Kitty Pride. All right. There was a
So that was a really complex question. Get to the heart of it.
There was a pilot made in 1989 for an X-Men cartoon. It is really solid. I love it. I've got it on VHS. But they only made one. Nailed it. Who got it first? Who popped up first? It was Mike or Ryan? Did you see? Mike came up first, or Mike's first on the list, so we're going to give it to him. But in that cartoon, inexplicably, Wolverine was Australian. Who knows why? I mean, it was like
Because
full
they
dingo ate your baby
foresaw that
Australian.
Hugh Jackman was going to play Wolverine.
That's probably why.
And there's
crystal
no other
ball.
reasonable answer for that question.
But they couldn't foresee that nobody would want to order that to series.
Which is weird because isn't Hugh Jackman Australian?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
G'day, mate.
All right.
Throw some shrimp on the
Mike?
bobby.
You just won a $25 gift card to Haven Comics.
Woohoo!
Congratulations.
Go Mike.
You're right. Dude, some sound effect here would be great.
Yeah, it would. It would be good.
Next on
Ding.
the docket.
That's fantastic. All that Australian adamantium that they've been hiding down there.
That was a close call between you and Ryan. You both kind of popped up at the same time, but you're settled on top.
It was close.
We
All
also
right,
got
so-
some good answers here. We got one from Kaylisa, one from Alan, French Canadian, and then one from Kaylisa, Quebecois. So, which is French Canadian. In Quebec, they speak Canadian French, Quebecois.
Y'all ever watch Letterkenny?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, people in Quebec.
yeah. That show messes me up. I love it.
That show is
Hilarious.
awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. What
Josh,
was funny
your
was
turn,
I
number
went to
6.
Newfoundland years ago, which is now part of Canada, but they do not have Canadian accents in Newfoundland at all. They have Scottish accents and Irish accents, like hardcore, which was a surprise. But that's who settled there, all around the fringes, because all the towns and cities and things are around the edges, and there's hardly anything in the middle.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Lovingly dubbed Newfies.
Correct. All right, so we're up to question number 5 now. Is that right? 6.
6.
Question number
So-
6.
Let's play for this Marvel Zombies Resurrection #1 variant edition.
That sounds appropriate given the nature of this question.
Uh-oh. Is it another Wolverine question?
Let's hope so.
No. But the word resurrection made me think of what's going on right now. So here is your question. Prepare yourself. In David Lynch's 1984 film adaptation of Frank Herbert's novel Dune, what must flow? Example, the blank must flow.
Oh, this is where I might have to turn in my nerd card because I have not watched Dune.
Me either.
What?
I'm excited for the new movie, but I did not read the novel or watch the old movie.
We got the right answer here, if you are calling it. Do you want to just pick one? Pick a word? Any old
sure,
word out of your lexicon?
The blood must flow.
Not a bad guess.
That's not a
But
bad
it
guess
is-
at all. I would watch that.
It is spice. Spice is a metaphor for oil. It allows the navigators to be able to fold space to allow for deep space travel. It is only found on the planet Araxis. I just knew that. I'm not reading that from this cue card here. Vegemite. That's a pretty good one too, Kaylisa.
No. She's got the whole Australian thing in her head now.
What is Vegemite? It sounds
It
a
is
lot better than
yeast
people act
extract.
like it is. Okay.
Vegemite is a yeast extract. In England, they
lost
call
there.
it Marmite, but it's the same thing. They eat it on toast, and the kids have, instead of having peanut butter and jelly, they have a Vegemite sandwich.
Ooh, no. I'm good. You know what I just realized, though? I can actually see all the comments if I click on comments over here.
But how do you know which one's right? That's the thing. Even Aaron's got them wrong.
Because y'all say that the right questions in the chat, and I could look on this. But
that's a good good point. We should stop that.
I just
Christine
realized
May.
that.
Welcome to the show.
I had it on a private chat for the longest time, and then whenever I saw that, the chat comment thing was over here, I was like, oh.
Well, I appreciate that you called yourself out right there, and
I'm not looking at it, by the way. I just noticed that it's there. You can look at my glasses to make sure if you want. Right there.
That would make me feel like a spy.
Yeah.
All
okay,
right.
so that was
question
Mike
number
won
6.
that, right?
That was number 6. So now
Mike won it, right?
Yeah, Mike won. Yeah.
Mike, you just
Good
won
job,
the Marvel
Mike.
Zombies Resurrection comic.
Good job.
We're going to be doing a little video tomorrow, possibly Saturday. But I will give folks a little bit of a hint as to what this video is going to consist of. It's going to take me. I've got to get all these so I can pick them up. But I just got a batch of books back from CGC.
Ooh.
So we'll be teasing that. We'll be finding out what these are and what they came back as tomorrow or Saturday.
Did you get any?
Tell me what you would.
Josh, did you get any comics signed by Todd McFarlane when he was doing his CGC signing? Like about almost a year ago? Okay.
No, I did not. I've got his signature on a comic the way he used to do it back in the day, the same way all artists used to do them back in the day. Inside front first page is where they would sign it.
That's my preference. I like that.
But yeah,
I've got a couple of his. I got his 300 and 301 signed whenever he was doing that. 9/8. I'm pretty happy with him.
Yeah, I'd be pretty happy with that too.
Was that?
You're into CGC?
I'm
grading them.
I've only done those 2. I wanted to get more, but every time I see them in a store, they're like way too expensive for me.
Oh.
I saw Josh has one that I was gonna get. It's the Star Wars one that was signed from this latest run, but it's like way more expensive than I can pay.
That's an expensive book because it's signed by Mark Hamill. But yeah, it's
it's Mark Hamill's signature. I didn't even see that it was Mark. I thought it was the author of the book. Wow. Okay.
No,
well, that makes
Mark
more
Hamill.
sense. That makes much more sense why it's that expensive.
Yeah, knock 90% off of that price if it's just the author.
That's what I was confused.
Rock on, Owen. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's Mark Hamill's signature on that. It's beautiful.
I'll have to pay more attention to it next time I'm there.
Yeah, come and take a step back there, take a look. It's nice.
We're racking up quite a few really nice CGC comics, Josh.
Yeah, and I just got in a stack more, and I've got probably another 15 or 20 books out with CGC right now.
I've always wanted to do that because I've got some signed ones, but just haven't broke the seal yet. I keep meaning to.
I sent off a couple of the Fiona McCool and the Hound of Ulster with the Haven logo on them as the official Haven variant, so I'm looking forward to that, getting those back.
Speaking of variants, well, you sent enough off, right? Maybe you gotta do a couple and make sure you get the 9.8.
Yep.
Speaking of variants, though, this is a Deadpool blank variant that I drew Deadpool on. So this is the recent. What is? Is
that where he's like the king of Staten Island or whatever?
Yes, I didn't actually read it. That is one of my biggest flaws. I pick them up and I draw on them. And
it's got a little crown on it. I think that's what.
Yeah. So anyway, I drew that. It's just a profile, fun but not as action oriented as usual. So that's what we're playing for next.
That's the series where you actually find out that he's not really a mutant, or at least that's where I found out he's not really a mutant.
Spoiler!
I always thought he was. That was like 5 issues ago.
That's also. I mean, that's in the movie too. I mean, he's just.
Well, in the movie, he says he's a mutant, doesn't he? Because he's like with the X-Men.
He's a mutate, right? So, like, a mutant is someone who is born mutated, and a mutate is someone who is born normal and then has whatever happened to them. Like Spider-Man is a mutate, Deadpool is a mutate, but then like Wolverine is a mutant, even though he was altered after the fact too.
Okay.
Hey man,
all right.
I didn't make it. I didn't make up the rules.
I don't make the rules. I just follow.
I don't even follow them. Question 7. Within 2, either way, how many official James Bond movies have there been, no counting the one that came out or is coming out this year? So you've got a leeway of 2 on either side.
I think there've been like 6 actors, so there's got to be. I want to say 14.
It's a guess.
It's not a good guess, apparently.
It's been running forever. What,
okay.
like
18?
Since the 70s? Aaron got it. Aaron got it, and then
Wow, okay.
Alan got way off, and then Christine got way off. Andrew, 5 movies, Andrew? So it is 26. No Time to Die is the one that comes out this year, and that's 27. Official James Bond movies. I want to know what the unofficial ones are.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Jim Bond.
How many did?
That's his brother.
How many did Sean Connery make? I thought Sean Connery was only there for like 2 or 3 movies, but I could be wrong.
Josh, you were born
Connery
before
didn't make that many.
1986.
Yeah, Sean Connery didn't make that many, but Roger Moore made a bunch.
Okay.
He made a bunch.
I knew you'd know a lot about James Bond because you were born before 1986.
Yeah, that's why.
Burn. Next question.
One guy was only in 1. Do you know the name of that movie?
No.
That was the first. What was it? The casino one. They did that before, didn't they?
Casino Royale?
Yeah, but they've done Casino Royale before, and that was the one that he was in the one time, right? Or am I just flat wrong? I was born in 1985. What do you want from me?
On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Who was that one? Who was that actor?
The James Bond movie you've never heard of, because it had the one James Bond you've never heard of. I don't even remember his name right now off the top of my head. Some dude you never heard of.
Bonus question just popped up. Who wants this Deadpool art? Whoever knows the answer to who played in Her Majesty's Secret Service as James Bond wins this Deadpool comic art that I have just laying around.
Oh,
Peter Sellers, is that the answer?
No.
Was it the answer? I gotta look that up.
you should probably look up the right answer.
That's not not even the right movie.
Is it Peter Cushing?
Owen got it there. George Lazenby.
George Lazenby. Well, it looks like
Peter Cushing. You're gonna get it right with Peter Cushing one of these times.
One of these answers.
Owen had a chance to play finally because it wasn't his question.
Right.
And he got it. So I think Owen might actually be a quizmaster. We have to try him out one time, and you and I will write the questions. Turns out he's a Bond fanatic, Owen says.
That would be fair. That would be a fair thing to do.
Is there anything Owen isn't a fanatic of?
So many jokes I can't say.
Probably doesn't like lima beans. Because does anybody like lima beans? I mean, people tolerate lima beans, but does anyone actually like them? Like, geez, hey, honey, could you make some lima beans? You don't go home and your mom says, hey, I made your favorite, and hands you a bowl of lima beans. Nobody actually likes lima beans.
Hey, there you go. Oh. They did make a Casino Royale.
Yeah, they did make a Casino Royale before.
But it wasn't.
He says it was comedy.
The same.
Yeah.
It was Elseworlds. It wasn't in universe. All right. So are we ready for question number 8?
Do you want to play for this Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm actually a little jealous about this one. This is a premiere variant of Guardians of the Galaxy #1, which is probably Guardians of the Galaxy like number 400.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Came out very recently. I've got the regular edition. This one is just kind of a slick muted color.
I thought we were friends. That's nasty. Lima beans are the worst.
Can this question be after 1990?
Aaron won that Deadpool cover, right?
Yeah, he did. So,
Aaron, are you cheating?
No, Aaron just knows stuff. That's why it was so weird when he got one wrong.
Oh yeah.
Y'all will never forget the one he got wrong.
That's his. That's the title of his autobiography. The one I got wrong.
I dig it. This one's a weird one, and there's a chance that you'll be like, "What are you talking about?" And that's okay.
I've been that way for most of this show, so it's not going to be.
You've been a fun guest though. So
you have. So here we go. Question number 8. What was the weakness of the Golden Age Green Lantern, Alan Scott? What was his weakness?
Wasn't I don't know if this is the old school one, but isn't it like red light or something weird like that? Maybe that's the new one. Red light. I thought there was like a certain color of light that he was like his weakness. Maybe I could be making that up.
There for a long time with like Silver Age Green Lantern and such, the color yellow was the bane of Green Lanterns. But that's not it either. Although very funny, you guys are killing me. This is the bane of a lot of people, but it's not the bane of Alan Scott Green Lantern.
Is it bullets?
That's also the bane of a lot of people.
His weakness is dying.
Oh no!
Does anybody have this? This is a this feels a lot like he's a Mega Man villain all of a sudden.
A bit, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if this stumps everybody.
Do you guys know who created Green Lantern?
I don't.
I have a sketch of a Green Lantern by this guy. Shortly before he died, he did that for me. His name was Martin Odell. He created the Green Lantern. Interestingly, his wife was there at the convention with him, and she was a hoot. And she started talking to me and telling me something. And he's like, don't tell him that. And she goes, he's embarrassed. But in addition to creating the Green Lantern, he also created the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Wow.
That's dissonant.
Paid the bills.
I kind of want to see a Pillsbury Green Lantern now.
You know, that would be legit. And I think that should be something that I get a sketch cover of, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I want a Pillsbury Green Lantern.
That would be fun.
Nothing says loving like something in the oven.
Honestly, that one wouldn't even be too hard either, because I would just homage the crap out of that one. I'd just find a good Green Lantern cover and just poof, done.
Well, I don't think we've got a right answer here, so are we ready to call it?
I think we have to call it. His weakness was wood. Unlike other Green Lanterns, Alan's power comes from the magical entity the Starheart, which was once a prisoner of the Guardians. Who knew? Not me.
So
and you were thinking of yellow light, Travis. Did we say that already?
Yeah. Josh corrected me. I knew it was some kind of light. It was his weakness at one point, but
now we have a name. We have a name for this. I need to see this. I need this cover.
Now, as I'm picturing him glowing, it's just looking a lot more like Slimer.
No, he's Pillsbury Doughboy. He actually has a body with legs.
There's not much of legs.
Doughboy.
Little nubs.
So on question 9, let's play for this Elven Enlightenment Canopy Blend medium roast. This is 100% single source Colombian coffee for nerds. It's different than regular coffee.
Single source, all made out of one key.
Only geeks can appreciate this coffee. So.
It's a geek steeped in coffee.
That's me. I'm down a pot every day.
So you're saying if I were to bite your arm, you would taste like coffee?
There's only one way to find out.
That's a good incentive. I don't like coffee, so that's a disincentive for me.
Coffee's a necessary evil. Nobody likes it.
Say.
I love it. I've lied to myself for so long, I can't even tell the difference anymore. All right, I've lost track. Josh, is this your question or mine?
This is your question.
No blood, only
I think
coffee.
it's your question.
Aaron's pointing out my one of my main character traits. That's not a flaw. Okay, question 9. The Bronx, Staten Island, Queens, Brooklyn, or Manhattan. Where will you find Spider-Man sneaking into his bedroom window at night?
I'm debating between 2. I'm gonna say Manhattan. Okay.
Manhattan?
Well,
maybe
can
at
I get
some
the
point.
hint?
Did you see Civil War?
I did.
Okay. It's in there.
Was that was your clue?
Mm-hmm.
Helpful, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was between Manhattan or Queens.
Do you want to change your answer?
Can I change it to Queens?
Yes.
Is that right?
No, it's wrong. You were right the first time. Just kidding.
Oh.
No, it's Queens. He that was his nickname with Captain America. That's a good hint.
Oh, okay.
He called him Queens.
I didn't think about that. I thought you were just making a comment that, he was in his bedroom in that movie at one point. Like, oh, okay.
Oh, man. You got to tell me how this coffee is. This came from Lucky Dice Cafe.
Well, I mean, you're like right down the street. You can come over and have some if you want.
That's a good point.
And you know where I live because you dropped off that Wonder Woman statue for me.
Also a good point.
Speaking
and I
which,
walk by it like every other day.
For your wife, that Wonder Woman statue, that was a heck of a gift. How was it received? I mean, I take it you're still married.
We are still married. She does love it. She's not a big comic books fan, but she does love the Wonder Woman movie, and she's excited about the next one coming out if it ever comes out. So she was happy about it.
Me too.
Wonder Woman is bigger than comics. I mean, Wonder Woman represents an entire mindset, and you can like the characters and not be entrenched in comic books. I think
she was also a fan of the old TV show.
Mm-hmm. Linda Carter.
Oh, yep. Heck yeah, Linda Carter.
Who's not a fan, right?
Yeah,
I love me some Linda Carter.
But yeah,
she really started doing conventions like a year or 2 years ago. I think a year and a half ago or so. I would love to see Linda Carter come to the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo.
That would be cool.
That would be amazing.
Hey, before we get to the last question, can I do a plug real fast for something?
I wish you would.
So I don't know if anybody on here. I know the last guest that you had was big into cosplay. A friend of mine and a couple friends of mine are actually building a website called mycosbuilder.com. For anybody that likes to design costumes and plan out their costumes, budget for their costumes, it's all free. You can go create an account. You can see some of the costumes we have up there. Eventually, we'd like to get kind of a marketplace where people can buy and sell costumes and different parts of their costumes. But go check it out if you're into cosplaying. I know there's no conventions coming up to wear any costumes to, but Halloween's coming up if you're participating in that. So highly recommend.
Will you drop that in the comments?
Yeah, please.
I don't know if can I drop that here in the comments?
If you can't, I will. What's the website?
It's mycosbuilder.com.
COSBUILDER.
Yes. All one word, mycosbuilder.com. And you can also follow us on Facebook, mycosbuilder. We have a Facebook page. There's not a lot of content on it, we do have a blog about once a month that we try to put out. So if you're interested, it's kind of all costume, but also a little bit of comic book and nerd pop culture stuff in there too. So
now, do you do?
Please
cosplay
follow
too?
us. I do. I haven't been doing it very long. I've gone to Dragon Con the last couple of years. My close friend that I've known for 6 years, ever since I moved here, he's been begging me to go to Dragon Con with him and his wife forever. And me and my wife finally decided to go a couple of years ago, and then last year. And unfortunately, it was canceled this year. But we usually do a couple of costumes. I think I have like 4 or 5 costumes on the website people can check out.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite one I've done so far is Mystery Science Theater 3000. I have a Gizmonic Institute jumpsuit of Jonah Heston.
Nice.
I love when people do like non-comic book ones that are recognizable stuff.
Oh yeah, there's so much outside of comics that people do with cosplay that is, and the crossovers are awesome. If you can get a good crossover between 2 different things.
Number one, I always thought that I would do a really good Hellboy. I think facial features wise, I kind of look like Hellboy. So if I ever do one, that's the one I'm going to do. And then number 2,
get the horns.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. And then I just need to get a really boss tan. And then I did a character, I see it more and more now, but I hadn't seen it at all before I did it. It was Sailor Moon and Venom.
Oh wow!
And Kaylisa did a cosplay of this. One of the greatest moments of my life is to have inspired someone else to do a crossplay. That's what you say, right? When you mash them up.
Yeah, mash up, crossplay.
It felt good to have made a difference. Yes, I did.
That's how you get that signature red color. Who would I cosplay? The one thing I have ever done at the behest of Barnes and Noble was for the release of the Harry Potter books. I played Hagrid.
Oh.
I'm the right side for Hagrid.
You're an actor, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you've done lots, like, more professionally.
I've played a lot of characters, but I haven't done cosplay as in put on a costume and go somewhere as a character. I've done shows. I've done a lot of plays.
It seems odd that someone that owns a comic book store is not into cosplaying.
Well, they're both expensive hobbies, and my expensive hobby is owning a comic book store. But also, there has to be, I think, usually the ability to sew or stitch things together or use a hot glue gun. I got none of those skills. None. So I would be an embarrassment.
I was commissioned not too far away from, pretty recently. I was commissioned to draw you as Venom. And I've been sitting on that for a long time. So we'll see when the person who commissioned that, wants to do anything with it. But I think it would be a good cosplay for you.
Wait, that's done?
I think it's right. It's been right. It's been done for a while. It's been done for 2 months. But it's up to Mike Wesolowski when he wants to unveil it. Maybe we should make him a guest.
Channels. He's not on here listening right now.
Oh, no.
Mike's on here.
No, he just got out. He just left.
Oh, no. The plug didn't even matter. Yeah, Josh, I don't own that. I mean, nobody does as soon as the world sees it. But, yeah, Mike commissioned it, so it's his to give you.
I'm dying to see how that goes.
Did you just ruin that surprise for him?
No, he knew. He was there.
I had forgotten
I'm going to be honest with you.
I had totally forgotten about it.
Okay, so, like, all humility aside, it's really good. Like,
well, you had something great to work with.
Yep, that was it. I had a fine model. I had made art. Alan says post epic now.
Yeah.
Alan, you don't know how bad I've wanted to post that since I finished it.
Yeah, you need to get on the phone with Mike Wysleski and make this happen.
And I also am not going to tell you the bonus office style, like demotivational poster I made with it, but I did, and it's fun.
I love those demotivational posters. Those are great. While I'm going to get the next question, tell people about smashing the things and dinging the bells and such.
Okay, if you are still watching this, then you probably want to watch these in the future, which means you have to press every button on YouTube to be able to be alerted about it. You got to subscribe. I think there's some kind of bell you got to ding. You got to like manually call into YouTube and press a certain number, right? Like Freakazoid from the old TV show. You got to just mash buttons in the right way. Hearing a demotivational poster is exactly what it sounds like. It is a poster that should make you just a little bit sad.
Like instead of hang in there, just like give up while you still can, kind of thing.
Yeah. The sooner you give up, the less you have to hang in there. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. I wish I could show you.
My favorite ones are the ones that at first blush look like a motivational poster, and you realize, like, oh, wait. Oh, that was subtle.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites. But all right, on with the questions. Question number 10. Besides Luke, who is the only Rebel pilot to survive all 3 of the original Star Wars films?
Oh, playing for this. Sheer Panic. It is a sheep board game, and that's all anybody needs to know. Sheep board game.
I don't know if I'll remember his first name. I know is it Antilles? Do I have to know his first name to get that right, or can that count?
No.
Okay. Is it Wes Antilles?
Very close. Wedge.
Wedge. Oh gosh, I knew it started with a W.
Clearly hated him. They named him Wedge. Can you imagine?
I only remember that because he made an appearance in the newer movies.
Mm-hmm. He's played by Dennis Lawson.
Yeah.
They had to have a. It was probably one of those things. Speaking of demotivational posters, where they're like, "What should we name this kid? I don't know. He's going to be a wedge between us forever." Oh, Wedge. That's a good name. Probably something like that.
Hey, did you have a bonus question for the prize nobody won, the Deadpool cover? Can I just get that too for fun?
The Deadpool. Aaron won the Deadpool cover, and then Owen won the Deadpool art.
Sorry, I thought there was one question nobody won.
Nobody won the.
There was.
And yeah, that bonus question. You won the stickers for a bonus question.
No, there was. Wait, what was question 8?
We had one that we had to call because nobody got the right answer. It was the Green Lantern one, the wood one. Nobody got it.
I don't have a bonus question.
Can I just win that prize just for being here and being fun? I mean, I don't even remember what the prize was.
The prize was Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's what it was.
A premiere variant as opposed to just a variant, which I've never even seen that before on anything. I guess I'm not paying good enough attention.
Yeah, the premiere variants are for you have to opt in for the release party when they do one of those, and the premiere variants are limited to a certain number per store.
So that's that's a big deal. Like that's got to be rare.
Let me think of a good bonus question. I don't have an easy button or a buzzer, but I do have this if it still works.
Hey Josh, can I just buy that comic next time I'm in Haven?
Well, you could, but
I really want that comic. That's a nice comic.
Let me.
Owen says he's texting me another question. Hey, who won number 9?
Hang on. What was question number 9?
Yeah, who won question number 9?
Well, what was question number 9?
That was the that was a coffee. You won that.
Yeah, I got that one.
I mean, you got some good stuff here.
I did get I got the board game too, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. You got the board game, you got the coffee, you got the sticker pack, and you got the Leonardo model.
Okay, here's your bonus question.
Make it a softball, man. Come on. I want to end on a high note.
Ooh, softball. Now I'm rethinking my bonus question. All right. How well do you feel you know Haven?
I've known of them for a while,
Haven,
ever since I started reading.
When you walk in the store, how well do you feel you know the layout?
I feel like I know it. I know the layout, yeah.
All right. So if you can tell me one of the characters, and you have options, but when you walk past the register and past the glass display case and you look to your right, we've got some original art up on the wall. And then on the shelf above the collectibles and things, we have some sketches from conventions. And we got several different characters up there by some pretty major artists. What is one of the characters that we've got sketches of over there?
This is equally brutal and softball.
Wait, who the sketches of?
Yeah, who are the sketches of? Not who's the artist, but who's the picture of?
How many guesses do I get?
One.
You were talking about
comic book characters, and both names have been mentioned tonight.
You were talking about Deadpool earlier. I'm going to take a guess and say Deadpool is one of them.
That's a good guess.
Okay. Green Lantern.
Where are we talking about? We walk in, we turn to the right.
Right.
There's the register. Immediately to the wall, you're going to have my Moon Knight.
The glass display cases. And we have all those collectibles, right? All those shelves there with Cards Against Humanity and all the various action figures and all that stuff. And we got sketches there in the main room. Before you get to the posters, before you get to the video game, that wall up at the top, there's some graded books, and just to the right of those graded books, there are some comic book sketches. One is by George Perez. One is by Walt Simonson.
He just told you the answers.
If it's Perez, is it Nighthawk?
Did you kick him off?
I didn't do it.
What was that?
I think he lost his signal.
No. Oh man.
Oh, shame. It was shame. No, we lost him. He totally just disappeared. There he's coming back.
This is a good one because he can't cheat either. Like, there's no way to cheat on this.
Oh, sorry. I said Nighthawk. I meant Nightwing. George Perez. Didn't he do Nightwing?
George Perez has done everything.
Teen Titans. Yeah.
But he's really particularly famous for one character. You bought your wife a statue.
Wonder Woman. That's what Perez is famous. I thought he was famous for Nighthawk because he had like the crazy Nightwing. God dang it.
Perez is famous for the Teen Titans. George Perez and Chris Claremont redefined and created the Teen Titans. And that included the transition from Robin to Nightwing. So absolutely, Nightwing is one of his things. But
that's what I've known him for. I did not realize he did Wonder Woman.
He's done everything, though. Everything for everybody.
This is like the only thing that is seared into my mind about Haven. You walk in to the right, there's going to be my Moon Knight right next to the window. And then along the wall, you're going to have, those are all buried at this point. So I don't know what's there because you've got the CGC stuff. But then you got a killer Silver Sable. You got the new Swamp Thing that I stare at all the time. The area you're talking about, you got Batman, you got Thor, and you got Wonder Woman, right? Those are the three you were talking about?
Yeah, those were the three I was talking about.
I don't pay that enough attention to that area apparently.
I mean, like, not everybody gets into the art nerd part of it. Some people like the stories.
Well, most of the time I see those in comic book stores. Like most of the drawings that they have up, like, are those even for sale or are those just stuff you guys have from? Yeah. No. So it's like, in my mind, I'm like, it's not for sale. I don't need to know anything about that.
It's just awesome.
But they are very cool. I'll have to pay more attention next time.
The interesting thing when you come in and you look at the Wonder Woman sketch, it's a profile of Wonder Woman with her hair kind of blowing. He doesn't draw the face. He just the outline of the face. He just drew the hair, and it creates the outline of the face. Artists are so cool. The way artists think just baffles me. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's like Mike Grell did you totally do. Mike Grell did a profile image of Green Arrow, and he doesn't finish the nose. And I'm like, why didn't you draw the nose? And he's like, I don't have to. Your eye fills that in, and your eye will make it perfect. Whereas if I draw it, I might screw it up. So I just boom and boom. Your eye fills it in. It's perfect. And he's right. It is. And I hate him for that.
I wish I could draw, but I am a terrible artist. So,
yeah, there's a sketch or a commission from Shaman's Tears over there with the commissions. I got a couple of commissions, and I've got some original pages from New Warriors up over there, which are awesome. Plus, I've got that Mike Zeck Snake Eyes, which is beautiful. But yeah, you have to check out the art in there.
You got so much original art, you could just wallpaper that place.
I could actually, and I've got some of it here, quite a bit of it here, and I need to go through and change some of it out because it's been up for a while and it's starting to get a little yellowed, and I would like to preserve it for a bit. But yeah, I've got some good stuff. Like I said, I've got a sketch from Martin O'Dell of the original Green Lantern.
Whose weakness is wood, right?
Yeah, I don't mean the character Green Lantern. I mean the lantern itself is what he could draw. That's the only thing he could still draw at his advanced age. And it was just like with a green marker.
So, original Green Lantern, I'm like picturing this now. It's like him versus a thug with a baseball bat loses.
Yep, that's it.
Is it like Kryptonite for Superman where he just has to get close to it, or does he have to physically touch it?
I think he had to physically touch it, if I remember right. Yeah.
Superman's always been pretty boring for me personally. I just never really got behind him, but I do like his weakness to magic. So whenever you want to just arbitrarily change however that story is going to go, you just throw in some magic. Done. Like Shazam.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Superman because
you're going to get your shot one day, Zach.
We're saying, Travis?
I was just saying I've never been a fan of Superman because he just seems like he's just too super powered on everything. Although I do remember learning that, in the beginning he didn't fly, that the whole Superman flying thing was made because of TV. It was easier to show him going like this than him jumping over really tall buildings like he was doing in the comics originally.
Yeah.
Which I think about it, jumping tall buildings is cool, but that's not a very useful power.
It's not.
What are you going to do? I think you ran around that building. I'm going to wait a minute and. Oh man, he went the other way.
We got a good question in the comments. What would happen if Alan's got needed a toothpick? And Alan, the answer is he would die.
Yep, gingivitis. It's terrible. Well, hey, appreciate you coming on tonight, Travis. That was a lot of fun. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I got to give a lot of prizes for people in the audience.
Well, see, that's part of the joy.
Yeah.
They're all very grateful that you lovingly stepped aside for those questions. Thank you to everyone who's watching. We do this every week, so if you want to be featured, let us know. We'd be happy to have you. Also, if you want to pick up any prizes you won, come do that on Saturday. On Saturday, you'll be able to come pick up any prizes that you won on tonight's show.
Saturday or after. They don't disappear after Saturday. They will be there on Saturday. And also, hit us on our Facebook page and let us know when you want to see this stack of CGC books and what all we got. If you want to see that tomorrow, or if you want to see that on Saturday. If you wait until Saturday, I've got another book that's coming that should be in by then, and it's one I'm particularly happy about because I've been wanting it for a while. But yeah, just hit us in the comments on Facebook and let us know. In the meantime, thanks again for coming on, Travis. Thanks everybody for sticking with us. That was fun. And any last words, Jeremy? Tell them where to buy a house. In
Huntsville or Madison from me. Or the surrounding area. I don't care. I'll go to Decatur. I'll go to Tony.
I might need to hit you up about buying a house sometime soon as well.
Well, you know where to find me. So I'm happy to have that conversation.
Yep.
All right, guys. If no one else has anything, I'm going to play us out.
Bye, guys.
Awesome. Yeah, play the thing. Thank you, man.